We want to bring in our first guest for the day, Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel. Welcome to StoryCon, Secretary Kiko.
Good afternoon, Secretary.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi,
Good afternoon sa inyo lahat.
Oh. Secretary, last week, guest namin yung DTI, hindi daw tataas yung presyo ng bigas. Kaso nung bumili ako, tumaas eh.
Well, sa ngayon ay dahil sa fuel price, talagang tataas ng konti yung presyo ng bigas. Minimum nga sa freight alone is 2 pesos, ano? It can go higher. But in general, meron pa naman tayong bigas na available na hindi tumaas, no? Meron pa rin tayong 45, may 48 pa rin sa merkado. At meron din mga varieties talaga, lalo yung premium na tumaas din talaga.
Pero Secretary, there's another factor that a lot of people don't factor in. It's ammonia-based fertilizers, which require the use of natural gas to produce. And I think, if I understand correctly, our fertilizer use is mga 60% more or less ammonia-based. And the natural gas prices have also gone up by 30+% already. So I'm wondering kung ano epekto nun, the Iran war, the disruption in ammonia, in natural gas prices and supply, doon sa ating fertilizer prices.
Baka hindi immediate.
And moving forward,
magtatanim pa eh.
And moving forward to
the rice na hina-harvest natin yun, ngayon, kasagsagan ng harvest ngayon, luckily, yan yung ginamitan ng mas mura pang fertilizer. So, ang effect ng fertilizer na tataas from 1,600, ngayon nakita namin meron ng 2,000 pesos per bag. At baka umakit pa ng 2,500 yan. Sa September natin mararamdaman yun sa next harvest season. In case hindi bumaba.
Okay.
Sa US kasi, Secretary, more than 50% na yung tinaas ng fertilizer. Ang problema sa US, kung ngayon planting season, sabi nga ng mga farmers sa US, worst time to have a war in the Gulf states dahil planting season sila ngayon.
Sa atin naman, luckily, it's kasagsagan nga ng harvest natin for rice and others, no? Sa sugar also, tapos yung fisheries natin, summer usually maraming huli, so medyo abundant naman ang supply natin as of now.
Ano ba gagawin natin
Secretary, kung sakasakali, may balak ba kayong baguhin yung... Kasi meron din ganung report, no, na may babaguhin kayong mga policy sa rice importation uli. Ano ba yung mga balak?
Actually, as of now, I'm actually talking to all the rice importers, no, at saka mga rice industry players as we speak. Yung isang gagawin natin ay nag-submit na kami recommendation for price cap nung imported rice at 50 pesos. Sa dinideliberate na yan sa stakeholders today, tomorrow sa National Price Coordinating Council, no, to be chaired by DTI, parang hopefully ma-aprubahan yon, then that will be sent to the President for final approval and mag-i-issue ng order ng ating Pangulo kung na-aprubahan ko yun.
Secretary, may namomonitor na ba kayo ng mga hoarders at saka profiteers na ine-exploit itong crisis na non-crisis?
Yes, yung hoarder wala masyado. Wala namang hoarding tingin ko nangyayari, pero yung profiteering for me definitely meron dahil kung ang price cap nga namin nasa 50 pesos lang dapat maximum imported rice ngayon, may nakikita kami 58, 55, may 60 pa. So that's for me profiteering na. That's why I need this to be passed para makontrol at pwede namin hulihin na kung sinong lumabag sa price cap na yan by the Price Act.
Secretary, may nabanggit kayong bag fertilizer na pwedeng gamitin in place of all these imports. Can you elaborate kung ano pong pampalit ng fertilizer na pwedeng gamitin dito sa bansa?
Ang urea kasi, yung inorganic, that's basically nitrogen yan . No, ang kailangan natin na alternative is na biofertilizers na nitrogen fixing or nitrogen based din or nitrogen producing. Pero naman available niyan, tinitignan ng DA ngayon yung current stocks, at definitely makakatulong yun na pwede kang magbawas ng urea na tinatawag na inorganic at magdagdag ng biofertilizer. So hindi naman ganun, parang hindi ganun kalaki effect. And of course, meron din tayong mga alternatives like yung mga ipot ng manok, no, na one of the best fertilizers is yung ipot ng manok, ano, na kung magamit yan ng mga farmers natin at makolekta sa mga chicken farms, that helps a lot and it's the best fertilizer actually.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung sinabi niyo kanina po, as far as fertilizers are concerned, yung sinabi yung 2,000 per bag to 2,500 per bag, you expect those prices to reflect September pa po. In other words, hindi pa tumataas ang presyo ng fertilizer at this point? Did I get you right?
No, yung sabihin ko, yung hina-harvest natin na
Yes, sir.
palay ngayon,
Lumang
to be converted
For
to
September.
rice,
Yes, sir.
ang basehan ng presyo niyan is 1.5 pa lang eh.
Yes, sir.
No, 1.5 pa lang. Ngayon kung bibili ngayon ng fertilizer yung magtatanim ngayon,
Yun ang mataas ang presyo.
2.5 yun at ang harvest doon sa September pa.
So this early, tumaas na po ng presyo ng fertilizer, but it will reflect
Tumaas
on
na.
the local prices of our food in September pa.
For rice at least.
Yes, sir,
Pero
for
yung mga
rice.
vegetables natin, yung mga ano, baka mas maagang tumaas. Although yung sa vegetables natin and other high-value crops natin, ay yung fertilizer use niya is much less than sa bigas. Eh.
Yung
tumaas nga ang
agricultural
presyo.
commodities na imported, yung iba nating commodities, halimbawa chicken, pork, karamihan dyan imported at saka salt, no? And milk. May
Yung
nakikita
sa-
na ba tayong movement sa price na impacted by the crisis in the Middle East?
Sa chicken, actually, hindi. Bumaba pa actually ang chicken dahil may overproduction tayo ngayon sa manok. Sa baboy naman, tumataas ng konti but maraming stock ng imported pork ngayon sa mga cold storages sa Pilipinas. So,
Yeah.
no real issue. So, itlog naman, baka tumaas yun based on freight cost lang kasi nga yung mga tracking, no? But as far as production cost direct ng itlog, hindi masyado as of the moment.
Sabi
yung mga,
niyo,
yung mga patatas, yung gatas, yung asin, puro imported dyan eh.
Yung asin natin naman ngayon, mukhang stable naman ang presyo at may local industry natin na dinidevelop nga tungkol dyan. So far, so good naman yung asin, no? Asukal nga, mababa pa rin. Marami 6 months ang supply natin ng refined sugar and 4 months ang raw sugar. So we have enough. And corn, marami-rami rin tayong corn so far. So okay naman tayo. The challenge will be towards the September onwards, actually.
so we're good until September, you're saying, Secretary?
Well, actually, we can be good until the end of the year, no? Kasi lahat naman ng, assuming mas bumaba ang production, mas bumaba ang, ng palay man o livestock o kaya, we have another option to import, no? Although ayaw ko talagang mag-import as much as possible, pero kung kinakailangan, marami naman tayong sources, no? Hindi naman, ang food production naman yun in ASEAN, tsaka lalo na China, India, tuloy-tuloy naman eh. So, there are alternative sources na we can source food from to be imported kung kailangan mag-augment. So, supply is not really an issue until the end of the year. It's a matter of price lang eh.
Secretary, ilang percent ba ng ingredients para sa fertilizer natin ang galing sa Middle East? Halimbawa, yung ating crude oil kasi 98% galing sa Middle East eh. 2% lang ang galing dito sa ASEAN.
Yung urea is 30% ang galing sa Middle East, no? Tapos yung ammonia at saka phosphate is 20%.
So, kung tumaas kanyo, Secretary, ang presyo, yung supply ang pwedeng maging problema. Sa fertilizer.
Well, hindi depende kasi depende lahat 'yan sa presyo ng kasi assuming palay, no. Kung ang palay ay mabibili naman ng mataas or na hindi malulugi ang farmer, then even with high fertilizer prices, then they can afford tuloy-tuloy naman yung pasok ng fertilizer eh. Hindi naman
So
it's just the price.
there's no supply shortage. It's just the price. Price lang ang problema.
Yes. Na-confirm ko na kanina, may mga bagong papasok na fertilizer, mas mahal lang ng konti. Meron na naman booking na naman in the next 2 months na darating na marami, pero ayun, landed cost daw, mga 2,500 na yun. So baka 2,700 ang benta nun. But of course, but then, as I said, may mga biofertilizer tayo. Tapos meron din tayong makukuha ngayon ng source ng yung chicken manure, no? Na, let's say, from Japan, from other countries, na baka yun ang pwedeng i-import natin na hindi siya petroleum-based.
Secretary, may contingency plans ba kayo kung halimbawa yung sinasabi ng gobyerno na 30 to 60 day na fuel reserve ay madideplete kung magpapatuloy itong gera? Ay may contingency plans ba kayo on how to deliver products from the farm to the market or to the groceries?
Definitely, no, kung sakaling magkaroon ng shortage man talaga ng fuel, I think the priority natin is pagkain, ano? So hindi naman totally mauubusan ng fuel, baka lang magka-shortage if ever. I think ang direction natin is ipa-priority talaga yung logistics ng pagkain, no, among others.
Kayo po ba,
Secretary, may mga
Secretary?
farmers tayo na direct hit. Yung banana producers natin, one of their biggest markets is Iran. At marami ng, ang dami-dami na sa kanilang hindi ngayon makapagbenta. I know it's more of a trade problem, ano? Pero humihingi ba sila ng tulong sa inyo, yung mga banana growers natin?
Well, kanina may nagtanong sa akin na reporter niyan. Ang sagot ko naman diyan is while mawala sa atin ng konti isang market natin, hindi naman major market ang Iran, pero kung ano man mawalang volume doon, mayroon naman tayong advantage sa mga malapit nating customer like Japan and Korea na traditional market natin. Kasi yung ibang supply source naman na galing naman sa Mexico, sa Ecuador, na mas mahal na yun yung freight. So baka ma-shift lang yung supply to other countries na malapit sa atin na naging uncompetitive naman yung mga ibang supplier nila na malalayo.
Secretary, I wanted to ask kung kayo ba'y bahagi nung crisis committee o task force na binubuo ni Presidente
For the non-crisis.
for the non-crisis.
What
What do you say before you answer? Are we in a crisis or not?
As far as agriculture is concerned, sa ngayon, we have enough stocks, at a reasonable price. If ever magkaka-crisis tayo in agriculture, in my opinion, towards maybe August, September. In terms of price, no? Price lang. Not volume. Affordability ang issue. But as far as supply is concerned, marami tayong supply as of the moment.
So wala pa tayo sa crisis as far as agriculture is concerned.
Kung kukulangin ng pagkain, wala ho.
Tapos bahagi po kayo ng crisis task force committee. Oh.
I don't know kung sino nag-coin no, may nabanggit na. But basically, for the last, since pumutok ho yung gera, halos linggo-linggo ho kami nagmi-meeting kasama si ES, kasama si ang DSWD, DOTR, DOE, on how to tackle it. Actually, pinagplano na kami ng ating ES as far as 3 weeks ago to make a game plan na kung anong gagawin natin, mga interventions, actions until the end of the year.
Yung ayuda or fuel subsidy para sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda, kailan po ibibigay yun?
Yung initial fund namin na 150 million from previous years ng fuel subsidy, nire-release na namin since last week yung first 50 million, no? Then pag na-consume yun, tuloy-tuloy yun. But it will only cover up to mga 40,000 beneficiaries because that's the money we have. But meron kaming 10 billion na presidential assistance for farmers and fisher folks na 10 billion na i-release namin on the week of April 6 at kasi yung DBM is giving us the SARO o yung pera by April 1 or 2.
Yung pag-distribute nun, paano, kayo ba ang namamahala or in tandem with the LGUs?
Nakalimutan kong banggitin, yung sa 10 billion na yun, that's roughly about 2,325 per beneficiary. Yung beneficiary nun is 2.1 million na rice farmers yun, below 2 hectares ang pinagsasakahan. may 399,000 na fisher folk na yung gumagamit ng mga motorized bangka, may mga motor. May 102,000 na sugar farmers and 1.475 million corn farmers naman. So total of 4.172 million beneficiaries yun.
So magkano, Secretary, per head yung makukuha?
2,325 pesos per beneficiary.
May
May
butal.
RSBSA registered.
May butal pong
Bakit may butal?
700. Oo.
320.
Kasi 1.720 million na yun. Kapag kakasyahin mo lang ho yung pera, kaya divide lang ho.
325
Secretary.
pesos per day o one shot, Secretary?
One shot yun sa ngayon, yun ang aming pondo na sa aming GAA. So yun ang gagamitin namin. Although meron pa kaming sa rice farmer, meron pa kaming sinusubukan mapondohan na 7 billion sa RCEP fund, but hindi pa namin alam kung kailan namin makukuha yun. And may instruction ho sa amin ng ating Pangulo na maghanap pa kami ng budget within yung mga previous years na hindi pa namin nagamit, saka kung ano pang pwede namin para meron pa kami maibigay after this.
Secretary, bago pa tong conflict in the Middle East, may problema na yung sugar industry natin eh. And they were asking for help from you. Ano po yung latest doon ngayon sa problema
Well,
niya?
yung sa sugar industry naman natin, technically they're saying na nag-over-import kami.
Yeah.
But assuming tama yung kanilang sinasabi, it turned out to be a good thing, no? Dahil ngayon okay ang sugar natin. Yung sinasabi naman nila nalulugi yung farmer, yung inefficient farmer, I would agree na nalulugi.
Yeah.
Pero yung mga efficient farmers naman, base sa kalkulasyon namin, lumitang kita pero hindi naman nalulugi. Of course, there's tinatawag na opportunity loss na dahil yung presyo last year versus presyo this year, but still, ang importante ay hindi nalulugi yung karamihan ng sugar farmers natin as of the moment. Yun ang aming analysis.
Secretary, galing kayo sa fishing industry. Ano yung epekto nitong grabing pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina sa fishing industry natin? Hindi ba sila tinatamaan ng husto dahil gasolina ang gamit ng ating fishing boats?
Ayun, talagang may direct effect ho yung gasolina sa pangingisda, no? Lalo na sa commercial fishing. Doon naman sa mga municipal natin, yun yung mga tatamaan, yung mga motorized. Kaya yung pagbaba ng excise tax, that will help, but I think that only translates to 6 pesos per liter, no? Kung masiro man yan. The other request nga na pag-usapan kanina sa Senado is baka pati yung VAT,
VAT.
may ibaba. So that's under deliberation. But yes, it will. Ang pinaka-threatened sa sitwasyon na to would be the fishermen actually. So yun ang dun baka may crisis after the season. Ang swerte lang ngayon na kasagsagan din ng harvest, so maraming huli. So kahit mataas yung fuel sa commercial side, malamang hindi sila malugi pero wala rin kita. Kaya kung nag-off-season, yun ang problema. Baka hihinto na lang sila kung hindi bumaba ang fuel price.
Secretary, bakit ang tagal naman kasing ibaba pa yung pirmahan ni Presidente yung measure? Nag-aaray na ang lahat.
That is beyond my pay grade.
Yes, sir. But I'm sure it's being discussed, sir. I'm sure it's being discussed among you guys. Sir.
Are you not discussing it in your
In the committee, in the crisis committee?
Oo nga.
Well, yeah, it's pinag-aaralan mabuti. I think it's just a matter of time.
So you think it's going to be an eventuality? I mean, it's going to be signed sooner or later. Is that what you mean?
Well, if things go a little bit longer, I think so, yeah. But I wouldn't put, I wouldn't, siyempre.
Ayaw yung pangunahan si Presidente.
We understand, sir. Kasi on the other hand, sir, you
sinabi
were
ng
also saying...
Malacanang
Kasi, Ami, go ahead.
Ano?
gusto daw pirmahan ni President Marcos and he wants it to be effective immediate or as soon as possible. Yun ang sabi ng Malacanang.
Oo nga,
Yung
eh, pero
excess action,
if you were in crisis
Yeah.
mode,
Ang
hindi ba,
crisis nga eh.
hindi na nga, midilisan na nga ng Kongreso, tapos,
But if he wants
Diba,
to sign it
ano
as
nga,
soon as
ano bang araw
possible,
ngayon?
if he wants to sign it as
Crisis
soon as possible, then what's stopping him from signing it?
yeah.
Hindi ka agad
Hindi, dahil meron nga nagsasabi na
he has
minimal,
advisors
hindi,
who
minimal
know.
yung impact.
Yeah, he has
May nagsasabi
advisors.
na ang makikinabang
For
ay the
contrarian.
upper sections of society. Kaya
yeah.
siguro isa sa reservation yun ng Presidente.
Yes,
Hindi
sir.
pa hindi ka agad na pirmahan ni Tito Soto yung enrolled bill. Kahapon lang pinirmahan, di ba?
Pasensya na kayo, Secretary. Ayan, Secretary, going back to pork, is it correct that we are the biggest importer of pork from Brazil and we've now overtaken China? Tama ba yun?
I don't know about the figures of Philippines versus China, but yes, Brazil is our number one supplier of pork. I think 52% yata of our imports come from Brazil of pork.
Why is that, sir? Why do we have to import pork all the way from halfway around the world?
Well, sila pinakamura no na nagbebenta ng
Mura.
pork sa atin. So I guess business has a way of trying to find the cheapest source, no. But basically ASF po ang nakatama sa atin diyan dahil sa ASF
Okay.
nawalan tayo ng 5 million
Yeah.
heads of hog, you know. So we have to by repopulation tayong ginagagawin starting this year to achieve hopefully 1 to 2 million hogs more per year, no, para in 3 or 4 years mapawi natin yung nawala sa atin.
Pero kaya ba natin gawin yan sa kamahalan ng ano? How about feeds? May impact rin po sa presyo ng feeds?
And the transportation cost.
Basically, yung sa corn naman, which is the main ingredient ng feeds natin, stable ng prices as of the moment, except for freight din. Yung freight component ang tumaas. So, kaya pa naman, the freight component pagdating sa overall price ng corn is hindi naman ganun kalaki. But yes, may effect talaga.
Hingi tayo sa Congress na mukhang may supply sila ng pork eh.
Yung mga joke mo, ha?
Secretary, what about sa milk?
Hindi
Kasi
natawa si
malaki pang
Secretary
kailangan natin
sa'yo.
ng gatas
Tito
eh.
jokes.
If we
Sorry,
want to
pakiulit
deal
lang
with
yung tanong.
yung sa dairy, bakit napakalaki ng, hindi ba natin pwede expand yung dairy production natin? Kasi isang pinakamalaking pangangailangan to address childhood stunting is milk eh. Eh halos 98% tayo or 97% importing, ano? What's holding us back from developing? I understand, kailangan na medyo malamig na weather, kaya lang, pwede rin naman yung may mga breed naman na pwede sa tropical, di ba?
Wala tayong
yung
baka.
milk producer. Di ba ng baka?
Well, sa ngayon ho, maganda yung plano natin sa dairy. Although it needs a lot of money, no, para maano. Dati kasi wala ho tayo stock farms for imported cows at importing. Ngayon the DA has built already 5 stock farms at yung 3 operational na. So yung pagpasok ko namin dito sa administrasyon na to, almost 1% plus lang ang ating dairy production. Ngayon nasa 3% tayo. Hopefully by end of term namin nasa 5 to 6% na. And if the plan works, tuloy-tuloy na yan. But unfortunately, kulang yung investment ng with the limited budget, that's yun lang magagawa namin as of the moment.
I have to
But then,
interject.
Isang mayaman eh.
pumasok eh.
I have to
So,
interject.
Tinanong ko yung isang malaking investor, sabi nila, nahihirapan daw sila maghanap ng malaking, you need a lot of land for dairy.
Yes.
Nahihirapan daw sila na kumuha ng area na pwedeng i-convert na agricultural. It's an agricultural land.
Kailangan
Nahihirapan daw sila maghanap ng ganon.
Kailangan ng isang malaking planta ng dairy with a few thousand cows ng 5,000 hectares in order to be viable. So, yun ang problema.
Secretary, Metro Pacific has invested quite an amount in cattle farms. Hindi po ba?
Oh, yes.
So, how much of the market is that? May makaka-contribute ba yun ng 1% dun sa sinasabi niyong 5 to 6% na pagtaas when at the end of the administration?
Pwede sila mag-contribute ng 1% or a little bit more.
A little
So
bit
kung
more.
sakali yung amin plus yung kanila, then maybe 6-7% tayo sana. But malaking rebuild requirement ho natin eh.
Yeah.
Kaya and the problem kasi the population is still growing eh.
Yeah.
Pero soybean milk, hindi ba yun? That's also high in protein.
Pero yung
important.
soybean
Sa
is
bata,
being
hindi.
planted, hindi natin masyadong tinatanim. We're concentrating on yung corn and yung rice eh.
On a macro level, Secretary, based sa pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, on a macro level, tumataas ba ang ating food security or bumababa dahil we have to import our food or most of our food? Sa inyong pagtingin.
Well, nung pagpasok ko ho dito sa DA, ang national buffer stock ng rice was only 3 days eh. Ngayon, nasa almost 10 days tayo ngayon. So, then ang rice sufficiency natin overall, hindi kasama yung buffer stock, nung pagpasok ko sa DA, nasa 35 to 48 days lang eh. As of today, the report today is nasa 70 days tayo. So, we're okay.
As far as supply is concerned, what about prices, sir?
Ano, sir? Ano ulit? Sorry po, sir.
As far as supply is concerned, what about the prices?
Follow up lang, Secretary. Ang ibig sabihin ng food security, yung ating ability to produce our own food, not just to buy. Are we secure?
The ability to produce our own food is malaki actually. We can be self-sufficient. Kailangan ko lang talaga irrigation eh. Irrigation systems, deep irrigation. If we have we have so much land na hindi pa irrigated eh. So basta ma-irrigate yan, we can be surplus actually.
So when is the target to at least have farmlands be irrigated?
Well, before the PBB administration, ang linalagay lang sa NIA noon is about 20 billion a year. Nung pagpasok ko, naging 70 plus billion yun. Meron pang 90 billion another year. So, the government is really spending on irrigation and hopefully nga, yung dating pagpasok ko, deficit yata is 1.2 million hectares. Ngayon, nasa mga 1 million hectares pa yata ang deficit. So, it's moving along naman. But it just needs more funds talaga na kung binigay nga sa amin yung flood control na 250 billion na yan, in 5 years, tapos yan eh.
Wala ho bang sa NIA, wala namang nakikita yung pera na pupunta talaga sa irigasyon?
Kasi
yung NIA noon, nagkaroon din ng...
May mga ghost projects dati, sir. At least, I remember dati may mga complaints na nakailang beses na pondohan ng isang irrigation project na hindi pala gumagalaw. So, we're wondering how that is now.
The last 2 years na nandito ako, although NIA is not under me anymore, nasa OP siya, marami hong nakabit na mga solar irrigation ang NIA, which helps a lot. So, I can see naman na tuloy-tuloy naman yung improvement, especially now na ang head nila is also an engineer, si Ed Gillian. I think is doing a good job naman. And maganda koordinasyon namin, but we just need to invest more in irrigation talaga.
What about yung farm-to-market roads? Nagkaroon din yung controversy in relation to the corruption issue sa budget. Ano na po yung progress dyan ngayon? Dahil tinurn over na sa inyo, di ba?
Yes, wala pa sa amin yung pondo ng FMR kasi nga lalo na ngayon na inuna muna yung mga sa pang subsidy ng mga jeep and but pag dumating sa amin yan, we'll implement it to the letter. Of course, luckily naman in the past few years, konti lang na-identify namin na may issue na nawawala. Konting-konti lang, it's a handful lang. Maraming may konting substandard, maraming maikli. So we're trying to fix everything and try to do to fix the problems of the minor issues that we have identified and implement it as soon as possible once we have the funds.
So, just to follow up sa question ni Ronald, Secretary, ilang percent ba ng ating food needs ang imported at ilan yung produced locally? percentage-wise?
As far as rice is concerned, sa rice, we're importing 20 to 20 lang. Sa sugar, not as a percentage, but quantity. We only need to import 300,000 tons of sugar a year. Or less, or less now dahil nag-increase nga yung sa corn, konti rin lang ang kulang eh. But ang main point dito is, if we have irrigation, we don't really need to import.
But what about chicken, pork, beef?
Chicken is oversupply.
Oversupply.
Sa ngayon, bumaba ang farm oversupply. Itlog naman, may deficit tayo, but marami ako nakikita nagtatayo ng itlogan ngayon. I think 10 million eggs a day ang kulang, sa pork naman, so far so good dahil may importation. But of course, ayaw
Yun na
natin
nga.
importation. Gusto
Ilang
natin,
porsyento
we're
po yun?
repopulating.
Ilang porsyento pong pork imports?
I have the figure that I don't know the total consumption. I forgot, but ang total import natin, let's say 2 years ago, was 500,000 tons of pork. Last year, nag 800,000 tons. So we still produce most of our needs actually. It's just that ASF lang talaga problema.
Sir, copy lang ako kasi I need to go in a bit. A couple of days ago, you filed a case, cyber libel case against Tony Levito Baligod and
Zaldico.
former Congressman Zaldico. This is with regard to yung allegations that you're involved in agriculture smuggling and yung alleged delivery ng kickbacks through the Maleta system. Any updates there, sir?
Dagdag lang doon, Secretary, paano dati ay naglabas din kayo ng expose tungkol labang kay Zaldico, di ba?
Yeah.
Na meron siyang mga smuggled.
Yung fish.
Oo, nakuha. Kaya siguro pwede nyo ibigay yung backgrounder na yon. Baka kasi hindi maunawaan ng mga tao eh.
Hindi, yun na nga Hindi ko alam bakit nila ako sinasama dun sa kay Baligod, yung sa 18 Marines na yun. Wala naman sila sinabi na yung dinadalhan ako ng maleta o nagbibigay ako ng maleta. Wala namang maleta. Sinasabi lang nila, kumukuha sila ng pera every week sa bahay ko, sa Forbes daw. Pero hindi naman ako nakatira sa Forbes since 2018 eh. So parang I don't know them or I've never given money. Tsaka ba't ako magbibigay ng pera, di ba? Ang importante, mag-ipon ng pera, hindi mamigay ng pera. Doon naman kay Zaldico, kasi naglabas siya ng video na sinasabi involved sa agricultural smuggling, pati daw, kung sino-sino daw yung mga involved. Lahat hindi totoo eh. Di ba? Parang it's all fake news. No? Tungkol naman dun sa na encounters ko kay Zaldi during that time na sinabi ko rin sa press con na siya ngayon humihingi sa akin ng allocation na 3,000 containers ng galunggong at 200,000 tons ng asukal na refined sugar na
Pati
dininay
asukal?
ko.
Pati asukal?
Yes, ma'am. And hindi ko siya pinagbigyan. 'Di ba? Parang yung sinasabi nila tsaka yung parang it's counter to what I'm doing kaya tsaka hindi talaga ako papayag eh.
Yes, sir. But sir, the crux of, I suppose the crux of your argument is that you have not lived in Forbes Park as far back as 2018. But before that, before the 2018 cutoff, you lived in Forbes Park.
Yes, partly for a few years siguro. Oo.
There is no possibility, or is there a possibility that they're referring to one of your, or to an old house of yours? Is that possible?
No, there is a specific address eh. Of course, ayoko sabihin online na nandun naman sa affidavit. There's a specific address, may number, tsaka street eh. Hindi na ako nakatira doon since 2018 eh. Diba? Tsaka kaya bakit, diba? Parang,
Pero,
connection
But the address is correct, at least when you were there, when you were living there. That was your address.
Yes.
But
yes.
is it owned still by a member of your family?
It's owned by my father. The company of my father.
Okay.
Yes, without giving any credence yet to their allegations, they could also argue that that you still have links to the house. At least from that point of view.
They can argue that, but the point is, it never happened. Everything that they said never happened.
Secretary, meron bang ibang mga politiko na naghingi sa inyo ng ganyang klaseng pabor? Medyo malaki ang hinihingi na yan ni Saldico if yung sinasabi niyo sa story niyo na mga allocations. Meron pa bang ibang mga politiko na naghingi sa inyo similar request?
Wala na. Yung ganun, wala. Sa totoo lang, nagulat ako sa laki. Parang wala namang humihingi ng ganun.
Pero meron maliliit lang.
Yung pabor hingi kung pwedeng baka makasama sila dito, sama doon, mga ganun, baka pwede sila mag-import ng whatever. Pero normally, nasabi ko na may sistema din, just follow the system. Katulad nung sa isda, yan ang sinabi ko na allocated yan based on performance. Kagaya sa asukal, ang sinabi namin, you have to buy local sugar from the local farmer in order to be qualified to have an allocation, parang ganon. Diba? May sistema eh. So parang yung binabato ko sa sistema yung mga requests.
At saka yung katibayan nyo po
Nabanggit niyo sugar.
ano ba yun? Tinext ba kayo? Paano na nga? Paano po kayo? Paano siya humingi?
No, by text. Siyempre may phone call then may text basically.
Nabanggit niyo yung sugar. Isang suggestion na sugar industry, bawasan daw yung procurement dito sa atin ng mga sugar substitutes. Is that viable?
Hindi naman. Ang suggestion even ng is i-tax yung artificial sugars.
Yeah, yun na nga.
No? So yun ang pinag-aaralan namin ngayon.
So you are open to that suggestion? Kasi medyo...
Yes. We're open to that suggestion, but we're calculating the way lalo lang ngayon ang problema is inflationary yan with this situation we do anything.
Okay.
Well, on a personal note, Secretary, kamusta naman ang health nyo? Dahil last year kasi nag-leave kayo, di ba? For health reasons.
I had an operation liver rescission. No? They took away 5% of my liver. And it came out to be stage 1 cancer nga. Pero clear na ako ngayon. Then I just have to go check up every few months. And so far, so good. I'm actually healthier now.
So, nagdijeta kayo ngayon. Ganun po ba, Secretary? You're eating less or healthier?
No alcohol. Yun ang jeta. No alcohol, no less fat.
Less fat. Liver eh.
All the good things in life.
All the good things in life.
Di ba
sabi mo.
nakaka-stress yung nasa gobyerno? Hindi ba kailangan bawas-bawasan yung stress?
Huwag ka na pumunta sa gobyerno.
We have 2 years to go, so we'll just try to do our best to serve the people and react to, especially this situation now. So, hingin lang ako ng cooperasyon sa lahat and a little bit patience, and I'd like to thank yung mga tao na sumusuporta din sa amin at trabaho lang ho at we'll do our best.
Ami, mukhang government is the worst place to be kung umiiwas ka sa stress.
At this point.
Oo nga.
Oo nga. At this point.
Panghuli na lang,
And
Secretary, hindi ba tinutulak nyo hanggang ngayon hindi pa na-address yung rice tarification law?
It has been ginawang priority ng ating Pangulo at ang target date sana matapos yan is by end of June or July. Then okay na.
So, ang mangyayari nito ay yung price cap ay parang it's a separate law. It's just a temporary fix.
The price cap is an activation of the law, basically. So that's an existing law. Ina-activate lang namin for this temporary situation.
I see. Okay.
Okay?
So, magpapasalamat na tayo kay Secretary. Sana hindi kami nakadagdag sa stress ninyo, Secretary.
Salamat,
Okay lang
Secretary.
yan. Okay lang yan.
Be healthy.
Okay, maraming salamat for
Thank you.
joining Storycon today. Agriculture
Thank you.
Secretary Francisco
Thank you,
Diu
sir.
Thank you,
Laurel.
Secretary.